Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, and we're glad to have you all with us here. Thanks for coming on in. We'll be on here till near 1 a.m., 2-hour show. Mary, welcome, Rudy, everybody out there. This is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show here on social media. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Please start tapping on the top right corner of my screen. You'll see the number says 113 as it goes up. It only goes up if you tap, so let's collectively keep tapping through the night. I mean, I don't want your fingers to fall off, but, definitely everybody equally get the chances to tap on the screen. Jordan, good to see you. It's 11 p.m. Eastern, so we got on here about a minute earlier. Good evening, Shoshan of Peace. Good to have you with us. Thank you so much. Queen MT, welcome. Good evening, Keith. Everybody who's coming in here, welcome to the show. We never know what's going to happen on Encounters. That's the beautiful part of the show. It's very spontaneous. It's always been that way, and we love it that way. Lovola, good to see you. Welcome. Ted, Bailey, Deb, I think, Ruddy. Hey, Lovola, welcome back. Lovola just said hello, and then Lovola was back in, so there you go. Hello, Lovola. Doggy, Zara, welcome. Karina, welcome, Karina. Everyone else coming in here. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Infinity777, welcome to the show. Aloha, salute to you as well. And let's see, Bella Glow 20, welcome. And we do have our big glass of apple cider tonight. Good to have everybody. Ronnie, welcome to the show. Everybody, new people, old people. Alicia Bertha, welcome. Lupita. GG Daniels, good to see you, and everybody coming in here, all the regulars and all the new people. Yes, we definitely will get amped up tonight. Pam M, welcome to the show. And we're just kind of looking at some things. It looks like there is things happening. Let me see here. The thing is, there's not a lot of new UFO footage on some other places where I usually look. Matt Noble, good to see you. Music, Love, and Karen, hey, how are you? Let's see here. Who else we got? Dutch America Girl. Welcome, Dutch America Girl. Birds in Flight, good to see you. One is something. Elaine. I'm just looking at some names coming in here. And yes, we're doing good tonight, Karen. Very good, actually. We're just kind of multitasking here. And we're going to have a great show tonight, as always. Gene Wilder. Welcome, Gene. Julie Harrington, good evening. Det1777, thanks for joining us. Oscar, welcome. Irish, welcome, Irish. Paycheck one something. User 614, welcome. Jordan, welcome to the show. Lisa, Rise Up for Love. Jersey for Life, welcome. Janice, welcome. I'm just going to go back to something I saw here. There's some things, there's more stuff happening here on the TikTok when it comes to the UFO thing. And let's just do this here. What's down here? So if I put in and let's see here. And there's also CGI too. There are people creating CGI, and it's unfortunate. And I know I'm looking at the CGI right now, and there's other stuff that is actually real. But there's this one TikToker that just keeps doing CGI stuff. And let's see here. And we'll show I'm just looking to see what's out there. Anyway, there are things happening out there. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Linda Lovely, good evening. Yvette, welcome to the show. John Jones. Let's see here. Did I miss anybody? Susan Murray. Cosmic Cultural, welcome. Thanks for the share. Please share love and light. Hey, Brandon Sparks, good to see you. And of course, my cat Missy is mowing and sitting near me almost. She's like wide awake checking things out. Jared, good to see you. If life exists on another planet, is religion possible, or is it just fooled 1Z? So, for example, religion exists on this planet, but it doesn't exist on other planets. Religion is a man-made situation on Earth. On other planets, they don't have religion. They have understanding of the Creator. On all the other planets that operate in a higher vibrational pattern, Earth created man-made religions which messed up the planet. And those were made to have people worship idols and other things on Earth. So really, in truth, this planet created all these religions which have messed up the planet. On other planets, they live in unity and harmony with the Creator. They don't have, great question, but they don't have any religions. Oh yeah, Contact in the Desert. Yes, Jordan, that's true. That's the big conference with the speakers and everything. Thank you, Dallas. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Cosby Girl. Hey, Cosby Girl, Julie Heck, and I'm surprised your cat doesn't do it more often. Mine loves it when I talk to the computer. Well, now she walked away, so she's not there. She just wanted to let me know she was around. Why Infinity 777? Good to see you. Why do Christed ones? I think you mean Infinity. Are you saying why do Christed ones spiritually get attacked? Hey, Scoobs, good to see you. Jade, thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Lionel, welcome. Hey, sometimes it's me. Good evening. Let's see here. Oh, the chosen ones. Why do the chosen ones get attacked? Well, it depends who the chosen ones are. You know, there could be a whole lot of chosen ones. Let me just get in here on it. Infinity, why don't you come up and we can talk about that on Encounters on audio with you. I think that's a great question.
Hi,
But
Commander.
how you doing, Infinity?
I'm doing well. Been feeling kind of sad actually, going through this spiritual path as always. I just been
Yeah.
like in these waves and just feeling sad. And 1 minute I'm feeling a little slightly better, and then I'm feeling sad.
Yep.
Just it's just frustrating and it's exhausting. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling like I'm being spiritually attacked, and I try not to think in that space or go there, but I
Right.
know what I'm feeling.
Right. You do. You have to know what you're feeling. No one else can know what you're feeling. You know, so
Exactly.
right. And you
Yeah.
know, that's I thought it was an interesting question. I think there's a final situation on our planet happening. There are those that are splitting away from other people. That it's not so much a chosen situation. It's a split between those that are not truly of the light that think they are, and those that are of the light that are really going into that path of light and vibrational patterns where our space brothers and sisters want them to be.
Mhm.
And so you live in a world right now that is really messed up and mixed up with energies, and that's going to change. But there still is the honesty. To be honest, there is that friction. That it's like I always talked about the parallel Earth reality for many years, and it's still I still hold on to it. Is that there are going to be people that are going to split off from other people, and there are going to
Mhm.
be people that are going to go up, up, up spiritually, and the other people that think they're going up and they're just going the other way. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just because there's no way that you can have negative energy people going into an elevated frequency when there is eventual contact with our planet. It's just not going to happen. I've known this
Yeah.
for years and years and years. When it comes to the point of push come to shove on a cosmic spiritual context, the push comes to shove comes to the point of where are you at? Are you
Mhm.
going to be going into contact with space people? Are you going to be self-indulged in your own insecurities, being affected, becoming negative? That
Mhm.
the Earth has a choice. The Earth has made its choice. The planet, which is a sentient living being, our planet Earth, it's made its
Mhm.
choice. Now we have billions of human beings that have to decide what they want to do.
Right.
And I think that is absolutely the key thing in my meditations, in my focus. I'm very, very determined to stay the course of the liberation of the planet, liberation of consciousness. That is a very key factor. And so when you're having your ups and downs, I have my ups and downs too. There are days like today, I had my ups and downs in the 3D world that I have to deal with. And then,
Yeah.
there'll be the next day where I just have to let go of that thing that's trying to keep me kind of feeling that way and just let go of it and say tomorrow's another day. What the heck,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
and
just
that's what,
and I know that I'm elevating and I'm constantly growing. My
yeah,
body's constantly going through upgrades and things like that,
yeah, yeah,
and it is just frustrating.
yeah,
Like I sit back and I think a lot. I'm always been a thinker, and
yeah,
I've
yeah,
noticed changes where like it's even hard for me to even go to work and to be at work because I'm so hypersensitive. I'm getting
mm-hmm.
agitated. I can't take foolishness or third, dimensional frequency talk or way of thinking. I'm tired of feeling robotic with this every day, gotta go to work, gotta do this, gotta do this.
Right,
I'm just over the whole routine
yeah,
thing. I'm
yeah,
tired of feeling robotic. I'm just like, what am I going through all of this for? Are we gonna
yeah,
like get picked up soon by the galactic beings, by our star family? Because honestly, Commander, I'm just tired.
yeah. Hey, look, I live here too. I don't think the one thing I've always stated is I am having the human experience. I have it every day, like everybody else here, and I get tired of it. I personally am tired of it too. And that's the beautiful thing about me. I'll be very honest about it on my show. I am tired of it. At the same token that I'm tired of it, I also have those days where I'm like, okay, we're just going to keep busting and busting and busting the matrix.
Yeah.
And so when I deal with people, which I do all day long, most are pretty good, but then there's always a few that, throw you for a loop in this world. And I'm always happy to be in my place here where I can do meditation, where I
Mhm.
can, when I do my show on here, I feel the most peace I have is being away from the 3D world.
Yeah.
But you're not alone. Don't feel alone about that because everybody out here, I'm sure, has their days that they're going through this. And if anyone says they're never going through a day where they're feeling like a yo-yo, like going up a roller coaster, and you're at the high at the roller coaster, then you go back down. We're all going through it. I'd be completely lying if I said I didn't have the same thing happen to me. I'm sure others do. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen every day, but then you look forward to the weekends on Earth, and you just want to enjoy people and the people you love, and when you're on this Earth having the experience, you're going to have those days. But sometimes, as long as you have those emotions and feelings, and you release that out of your system, you can let yourself to renew your energy and say, okay, I got it out of me. I said what I had to say. Now the next day, you can choose to make it whatever day you want it to be, right?
Yeah, but it's hard, Commander, because, and I get what you're saying, but it's hard because while going through this path, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, you tend to break away from people who you used to hang around with. Like I'm such a loner, and I'm always isolated, and I like it
Mm-hmm.
like that. I'm not really
Yeah.
complaining. I like
Oh,
being
good.
to myself. I feel better being in nature, near the ocean, with animals, things like that. But the minute a bunch of people come around me, parking next to me, or want to
Yeah.
flock to where I'm at, which was peaceful, I have to get in my car and leave because it's too much. Like I get overstimulated no
Yeah.
matter
Yeah. Yeah.
where I go. And I'm getting
Yep.
sick of that too. I'm like, can I just go somewhere where there's not really anybody coming around? But I also get frustrated where I'm like, God, I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to talk to about this spiritual path. And I get so PO'd because I'm like, none of this comes with a manual. You can't always go to social media and look for answers.
Right.
It's like,
So
how come we can't,
right.
people like ourselves who are going up, why can't a galactic being or a higher being talk to us telepathically or in a way that we understand and kind of like hold our hand, guide us? I feel like it's a guessing game. I have no
Well, you know
one to
what?
talk to about any of this, Commander, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I
Mm,
just feel like, why am I being chosen to do this? Because I don't have any help. And when I tried to ask this one girl a question, she was like, well, you have to, well, it's so much clarity and so much detail have to go in, so you just have to book a session. And I'm like, you're sitting up here on this
what?
platform that is free, constantly posting things and talking about people who are chosen and this and that. You're doing it for free, but the minute a person reaches out and wants help, I have to pay you? Like, how
Yeah,
dare
that's
you?
crazy. That's crazy. So the thing is, you like one of our people here. So the one thing you'll find about me is, I come from that frequency of love because I'm not from here, because I do remember and I do understand both angles of the human situation, because it's tough to watch all kinds of things that are not that are happening here, that are hurting people, humanity, animals, all kinds of things. When you watch
Yes,
all that, it does affect you, and I know that to
yes,
be true. And here, you're loved here. We're not charging you $2 million, and you have to have a session in order to find out how to become more centered so that doesn't happen to you. When they have to do that to you, and they say, well, you have to book a session with me, then they're not giving you unconditional love. They're saying,
exactly.
we'll give you the unconditional love if you book a session for $300 an hour. We'll give you the unconditional love.
Right.
So you know, it really is important to understand that here we all love you. I love you.
I love
My
you
whole
too.
thing, right? And you have the right to cry in here. If you feel like crying, I'm not saying, well, you're now crying. You can't be on here. You're crying. Hey, get over it, people. If a person shows their emotions, that's the most beautiful thing they can show. Whether they're laughing, crying, it's the most beautiful thing a person can do. And I'm here to embrace you. I'm not here to have you book a reading with me for $1,000 or whatever. I don't get that. You know, if a person sincerely wanting to help somebody, you help them. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
you don't say to a homeless person, "Oh, if you want me to help, you're going to have to do something for me."
Right.
uh, you just help them. You don't say like, well, you have to take all the trash out of my backyard for 10 days before I help you. That's not the way it's supposed to work, right?
Exactly.
We're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to be here
Exactly.
for each other. And the one
Exactly.
thing I can tell you is, I will never negate somebody's emotions and feelings, because that would be negating who they are. I think when I look at what you're saying, because I know you, um, I'm glad you're expressing yourself and crying and all those emotions. I think that is really important. And the fact that you're here, you'll never be alone here. And I understand wanting to have a place to go to have some quietness. If I want to go to the ocean with my better half and we go to the coastline of Connecticut, as long as I'm near the ocean, and there's not like 1,000 people there, I'm okay, but everybody's different. And
Yeah.
when I stand and look at the water, and the Long Island Sound and the little waves coming in, and I see the birds in the sky. For me, that's the most meditative peace I'll ever have. Just standing there, just taking in the sunny day and the water. To me, I'm very connected. Like I love going to the beach and just not having loads of people there and being able to
Right.
just look at the water, and
Yes.
yeah, so you never have to worry about anything because you have to be your own solid foundation of light. And when you go somewhere and you want to get away from all the people, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you find a park somewhere where there's not a million people during the summertime, and there will be some parks that are like that, you can just go there, hang out, and just meditate, and
Right.
and that will be your best medicine for yourself. And you know what? If there are sometimes maybe 20 people when there was only 5 people at that park, there's plenty of places in the park to go to, and you can find your own space and your own light, and never have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I try to do because my
Yeah.
peace and self-care is
Hmm.
highly important. And I work
Yeah.
at an animal shelter and I've been there for a very, very long time. And I
Hmm.
just pray that I can retire soon before I am supposed to because I'm so drained at how people treat animals and how
Hmm.
customers are and just how people think. Not all
Hmm.
of them, but the majority, Commander, the majority of people, the way they treat animals and their reasons for turning them in and all these things and lying about they found a dog and they really it's their dog, just everything that I deal with. And I
Hmm.
know it's life, we're all lifing every day, but it's just too much. It's too much. And I know that the Most High has put me in this position to help and to heal them. So I have the gift of healing animals, and I see the results after I've healed them. But sometimes they end up passing away, which is okay. I understand. But it's like, okay, I've done that, but I can heal animals anywhere in the world. But it's just taxing, and it just drains me because there's so many people at my job that I feel everything, Commander. And it's so heavy that I sometimes have to tell my boss I have to go home. I'm not
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah. So one of the things is before you go to work is you want to be putting a protection around you, and there's one thing I can say right now. If you would like me to just simply do something, I could put an energy protection shield around your body, and evidently I have the ability. I have not done. Oh, I have done that. What am I talking about? I can do a protection shield around you. If you let me, it will protect you from being energy depleted when you're in work or wherever you are.
Yes, yes, because I'm trying to, because I have all these things running through my mind. Like, am my galactic beings really friendly or are they tricking me? Do I really have a chip in me? No, I don't. So I flip flop. One minute,
Hmm.
like I have all these fast thoughts, and one minute I
Hmm.
feel like I'm in my truth. I know the truth because I ask myself questions. Well, has your star family done this, this, this? And I'm like,
Hmm.
no. But
Hmm.
there's different ones that try to trick us. So
Right.
I'm
So
just tired of the yo-yo.
here's
I'm tired
so
of flip-flopping.
right. So here's the deal. I'd like to be able to gift you a protection around you. Would you want me to do it?
Yes, please. And can you tell me again? I might have asked you this before. Can you tell me again if I have a chip in me or not?
I could definitely tell you. The only way I would tell you is if I scan you, I'll
Okay.
be able to tell you. But the most important thing I can tell you is I believe you're affected by everything around you, just naturally because you're a human being. You're also a person that cares about people. So caring people will get affected by all kinds of energies. And you don't
Yes.
have to have a chip in you to have that happen. But I could put a protection around you and you'll feel the energy. You want me to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. So I want to bring you on camera. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. I want you to press the save button. We're going to do this thing for you. And it's not going to cost you $40, $100, $500, any dollars. It's
Okay,
going to be totally
I'm
free.
I'm in my car, so it may look kind of dark because I'm actually by the ocean.
Okay, so you're not moving, you're just sitting in the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to close your eyes, and what we're going to do for you, I'm just going to put a protection shield and shoot light energy into your body, and it's going to make you, in 24 hours, you're going to feel totally different. So this is my gift to you, and there's no
Okay.
charge for my gift. My gift is supposed to be used for free to help people, and it's
Okay.
exactly what we're going to do. Then I'm going to bring my friend Star Knowledge up, who's in the queue, after we do this. So we're going to help you here. So
Thank
I want you
you.
to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and then I want you to breathe out of your nostril. Do this about 3 or 4 times, please. And when you're, give me a second, I'm going to start feeling your energy pretty soon. So, and actually, you're going to be feeling my energy. I'll be shooting beams of light over your head, and when you feel it, let me know, please.
Okay.
Just relax. I'm switching over to my space consciousness now, everybody. I'm walking now in Ashtar Command consciousness. Tell me when you feel it. You should start feeling a little bit of energy coming over you. Relax, let go. It's okay now. I'm going to amp up the energy over your forehead. I'm starting to feel the aura around you. You should start feeling the energy coming through. Just tell me when you're starting to feel it. Just say, I feel it.
I feel it.
Good, good, good. Keep your eyes closed. I'm now going to shoot beams of light into your cellular structure and clear your energy.
Wow, I feel it.
I'm going to shoot the energy through your whole cellular structure of your earth body. I'm now at your neck area. What I'm doing, everybody, is I'm gifting her with the gift of protection shield of light.
Wow.
I'm clearing your brain. I'm centering your light energy. I'm increasing the light energy into your brain. I'm amping it up even more so. When you go to sleep tonight, you will have a cosmic dream. I don't know what the cosmic dream will be.
Okay.
But when you go to sleep tonight, keep your eyes closed. You will have a beautiful dream of light.
I feel something.
You'll no longer feel alone. You will no longer feel alone, sister.
Thank you. That feels nice.
You'll be able to soon, you'll be visited by your star family soon. I'm getting telepathic links. Give me a moment. Your star family will see you soon. I don't know what soon means.
They're telling you that?
Yes.
Well, I've been waiting since 2012. What's the problem?
Oh, you don't have to worry about the problem. There is no problem. Just let go, let go, let go of those words.
I mean, I know.
Everything everything comes in, for humans, everything is in time and space In space, there is no time. But the space people, your family, are aware of you. They love you. They don't want you to worry. They will, when it's time, they will contact you. So they want you to relax and just go about your day and not worry. Because what I'm doing now is putting a protection shield around you.
Okay.
And when you go to sleep tonight, you're just going to be able to focus on cosmic dreams, beautiful dreams of light. You are a shining light. You're a shining
Yes.
light. You're a
Yes, I
beautiful
am.
being of light.
Yes, I am.
You have nothing to worry about. And everyone here that's watching this loves you. You're not
Thank you.
alone.
I love you guys too. Thank you.
I'm now shooting a beam of light down the center, through your spine, down to the lower part of your body.
Okay.
I want you to say these words, sister, as we are doing this light energy work on you. Excuse me. I am loved.
I am loved.
I'm not alone.
I'm not alone.
I have everyone here.
I have everyone here.
And I do have my star family
And I do have my star family.
because they love me,
Because they love me.
and I will see them soon.
And I will see them soon.
I am a Christed being of light,
I am a Christed being of light.
and I am free.
And I am free.
Amen.
Amen.
You may open your eyes now, sister.
Thank you so much, Commander. I felt that.
I
Thank
told you
you.
I'd give you a gift.
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask you one or two more questions. So, when I'm feeling depleted, because I do ask my star family if they can slow things down, sometimes, like lately, and oftentimes when I'm having an upgrade, I get this really bad migraine, and I ask
Mm-hmm.
them to slow it down, and they do. And then, like a few days ago, I asked them to, and it was like they didn't. So I took it as and I had to endure it because it was going to be for just a moment. And then, like, maybe, I don't know, I was doing something or whatever. Then it ended up slowing up and then it stopped for a couple of hours as if they
Mm-hmm.
gave me a break and then it started back up again. But this isn't the first time that I've experienced this. But I know that lately, like I'll see posts about, a solar new moon or this or that new moon or whatever, we're going on is occurring. So I try to keep up to date reading those things so that I know why I'm feeling or getting certain symptoms. But I know this
Mm-hmm.
week I've been feeling very heavy, depleted, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll think because my sugar level is low because I haven't eaten breakfast, maybe I've had just coffee or just a banana. But I'm like, no, it's not that. I'll still feel depleted. So,
Mm-hmm.
so my question is, why am I feeling depleted?
Well, part of the thing is everyone has a different thing. One of my uh, one of my viewers, Monica, says drink lots of water and lemon.
Okay.
So I probably think that's a good thing. And depletion, sometimes when you don't have a lot of water and liquid like that in your body, it will affect your being depleted in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
But other than
also know
that,
that I need to
yeah.
get grounded too. I haven't gotten grounded, and I try to be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of that because when I feel a certain way and I tell myself, you have to get grounded, or like a
Mm-hmm.
thought will hit me and say, you have to get grounded. And when I do, I feel much better. But I'm
Well,
just like,
music,
God, this cosmic
yeah,
thing we're going to is heavy duty because
it is. Well, this is it.
I'm feeling so drained.
Yeah,
And,
this is it.
and,
This is
and
the
then I
deal. This is it.
yeah, and then I
You
feel
know.
so sleepy. Like all day today, I was feeling sleepy,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to go to bed at least at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And some of the people, some of my other friends in the show say Celtic salt B complex vitamins are good.
okay,
Mindspeak says plus a small pinch of Himalayan salt. All these are all good suggestions. So, yeah,
okay.
and electrolytes. Yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone. And one
And
more
most important,
question. One
Yeah.
more. Go ahead, Commander. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I want you when you go to have your dream tonight. That's going to be a transformational experience. When you have this dream, whatever it's going to be, it is definitely going to be galactic and cosmic. It's
Okay.
going to actually help you. And I've infused light energy into your body now. So
Okay.
that light energy is not going away for a day. And we're not taking the light energy back into the palm of my hands. That light energy, that beam of energy of light that I put through your body is going to send through the cellular structure and also your conscious levels of your brain to a very high vibrational frequency. And you'll be able to ground yourself in a balance, but you're also going to be able to not feel like 5 days feeling really low and then 5 days feeling really high. You're going to be able
Okay.
to feel really good all the time. I mean,
Thank
you'll have
you.
your moments, emotional moments, where affected by things around the world. That should be normal.
Hmm.
But you will be able to operate much clearly. And I can see the beauty of your soul. Can you please smile? Look how beautiful you are. You see? See,
Thank you.
there we go. There we
And
go, right? You're
how long
beautiful.
is this gonna last for me?
It's gonna last forever. I gifted you with a gift from the Ashtar Command, which I'm able to do because I worked in my Ashtar Command energy with you just now. That
Yeah.
gift is for you forever. That's my gift for
Thank
you.
you so much, Commander. Thank you, Ashtar family. One more question, Commander. Please, I so appreciate your time and your energy and your love. I remember being taken twice. Remember
Hmm.
the last time I spoke to you, I was talking
Yes,
to you about
yes.
the first time. So I
Hmm.
remember I remember just this part. I remember a tube being pulled out of my throat or going down my throat. And I remember
Hmm.
myself gagging and I was wanting to wake up, but a sweet galactic being voice told me to just stay asleep. And I
Hmm.
remember I kept gagging, and I thought I was gonna, you know,
Yeah,
purge, but I didn't. And I
yeah.
was wondering if you could help me with that briefly. Like, what were they doing? Were they examining me, checking me over?
I'm not sure what that was about. I would like to save that for another free communications with you on here.
Okay.
But I think when you go to sleep tonight, what I did with you is I essentially put so much light energy into your body. If there was anything in there, it was totally destroyed just by my working on you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
But if we need to, we'll look at it in the future program when I'm on here. You're always welcome here, and I will certainly take a look at that if I need to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for your kind words and your love. And if you have any extra tips, feel free to message me. I will try my best to get to them. Thank you, Commander.
Okay, all right, dear beautiful person of light,
Mhm.
infinity. I'm going to let you down that very slowly. I'm going to
Okay.
bring star knowledge up. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you,
Thank
and
you.
I'm always here to help people, and that's what I do. That's part of my mission work. So we'll bring it down. There we
Thank
go.
you.
Okay, let's do this here. Everybody, Infinity 777. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Um, and this is, before I meet my next guest and my dear friend Star Knowledge, it's really important to understand, when someone tells Peggy Pete Star TV, when someone tells her they'll help her, but she has to book a session to get help, mm-mm, you don't have to book any session to get help. You either help them or you don't help them. And with me, I just help them. That's what I'm supposed to do. My father and my mother on the ship would never, never want me to start having a booking session for $100 to help somebody. It's not in our consciousness. When we come from another planet, we don't think about that. If we're here to help somebody, they don't have to book any sessions with me. I bring people. I've done over 100 implant removals. I've done other things. I've helped people unblock their conscious memory. I do these things because it is part of my mission work. And it's the real deal. What you're seeing here is what you get. What you get is what you see. That's just the way it should be. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now that I said that, I'm going to bring somebody up who is famous. He's like a Hollywood star, and I'll bring Eddie up, Star Knowledge, and he'll be on here with us in a second.
Oh, you.
See, look at him. The guy has a nice. His hair's. He looks all nice, and he looks like he's getting ready for another Star Wars movie coming up, maybe, or
Wow.
something. I don't
I
know.
look that good to you? I just drove
You,
10 hours today.
you kidding me? You look great.
I drove 14 yesterday and then 10 more today.
Well, you have a lot of energy to be on here tonight, my friend.
You
So,
know, I got to tell you, I just came from seeing my family. And they say if you really think you're enlightened, go spend some time with your family. We, I had such a beautiful time with them, and they're fighting, and they're all this stuff is going on, and I'm like, you know, I just said I'm not gonna get involved. I'm indifferent. I love you all, and I just want to spend time with you. I just came here to spend time,
yeah,
and so we did that, and it was, you know, God, it was the best visit I've ever had with my family.
yeah.
Oh, uh, and then in the midst of all that, as I'm driving home this morning, my father passes away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, and
You know?
the thing. This is a really important thing about, especially for a lot of us here, because a lot of people think that their traumas are like they have to get rid of their traumas. Where on the spiritual path that we keep talking about, like most of us, if we were to talk about our traumas,
Hmm.
we'd have a lot of the same trauma, right?
Hmm.
Which, a lot, and then, as we go along, they end up becoming like challenges, like, um, okay, I'm going to start with my dad, guys. So I want you to hear this. What's up, Peter? Peter Coyle.
Hmm.
My father he was the poster child for how not to be as a man.
Yeah,
He was just not, I can't, I mean, there's a laundry list, but I was telling my sisters and my brothers, I said, those, if he didn't make it so obvious for us, we probably would have, if he would have been more of a like loving father, even though he
hmm.
was,
Hmm.
and a bad
Yeah,
human at the same time, we might have ended up down that road, like with like being like him, thinking that it was okay, but he just laid it out. he laid out the whole thing for us. That was like, that's not good. My brother and my sister are really having a hard time with it because they were trying to have a relationship with him at the end, and I told them both. I said, he's gonna take it with him to the grave, and he's gonna kick you on the way into it. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't set yourself up for that. And they did, and they got kicked.
They got kicked. Yeah.
So so I just told him, I said, one of the key elements for us, especially on this path of becoming more enlightened and becoming more, if we want to, experience more love, we have to forgive.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't have to forgive them for their sake. We forgive them for ours. It's almost like if you have a bag of stuff that you don't want, you
Yeah.
just give it up. Just forgive and forget it and then move on. And that's what I did. I did that for myself. And when I did that, I was able to experience a higher love. So I could
Mm.
share that with other people. And it's been a very beautiful thing because my one of my sisters is a huge Christian.
Hmm.
And I know, as I'm talking to her, I'm talking about, like, I'm trying to draw the parallels between her experiences and mine. And she said, "You're starting to
Hmm.
sound arrogant." And I said, "I just want you to know that we believe in the same thing. It's just that our awarenesses are different. That's it.
Right.
Our
It's an
awarenesses." So
awareness. Yeah.
I told her, I said, here's the funny thing. And I said, I started out because I didn't know there was spirituality or anything else. I said, I started out picking up the Bible and reading the Bible. And I said, I wanted to learn about this Jesus guy and what he did. And so when I started reading about what he did, I said, well, I don't see anybody doing that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to see if I can do that.
Right.
Right. And so, uh, and this goes for everyone here. Like, the one thing that Jesus does save. He saves us like from our self pity and our self, what we don't believe in ourselves. That's the beauty about that story of this person, this being. And I said, it wasn't through him that I learned how to heal. It wasn't, or heal others. It wasn't through him that I learned how to raise the dead. And I haven't raised a human person. I've healed dead animals. And they came back to life. So, and I told her, I was like, I've done all these things. I haven't walked on water. I mean, I haven't tried though either. But I said, I learned a lot from what you read about. I said, and I'm not reading about it, and then I'm actually learning and I'm doing, and that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, see insects, small animals for sure.
Right.
And I said, my awareness grew past religion. Religion was a stepping stone for me,
Right.
but the next step was spirituality. And so I went into the spiritual understanding of things, and then my awareness grew beyond spirituality. So at first I was dissing spirituality. I was like, oh yeah, like it's people have turned spirituality into a religion. But everybody's trying to figure it out, because in the religious sect, there's dogma, there's rules.
Mhm.
In the spiritual community, there are no rules, and that's why you're finding people with different perspectives. And that's a good thing, because we get to explore those, and we get to touch the fire and go, I shouldn't have done that.
And it goes into the whole idea, right, Eddie, of having those, like my last guest, Infinity, who was a beautiful soul. When we did our energy work with her, and she said, "How long will this affect me? All this stuff that I did." I said, "It's my gift permanently for you. My
Absolutely.
abilities that I've been given by my space father
Mm-hmm.
are that the gift that I'm able to give you is something that's not for a day, and then you have to come back and pay me $200 for another gift."
Right.
Like she was talking, she went to somebody on TikTok, and they said, "We'll help you, but you have to book a session
Mm-hmm.
for X amount of dollars." If there's a condition on helping somebody, then it's not helping somebody.
Yeah, that's karma.
It's not help. It's not the way it should be. When you operate in space consciousness, which me, I can switch over in 2 seconds to space consciousness. That's when I turn on all those galactic abilities that I have to help person. When I want to go back into talk show mode, I switch back over. And then the way I speak is slightly different, because I'm speaking in space consciousness, not in human consciousness. And so when you talk about the greater good, the space person Jesus, and should I be bold enough to say that he is a space person, and whether people want, the religious community probably would throw in tomatoes at me for saying that, but who cares? If it's a sweet tomato, I'll eat it anyway. But Jesus is a space person. He comes from beyond Earth, to be honest, and he came as a star seed. When he did come here, and the parables about him were kind of confusing, but he came here to liberate the planet.
Right.
And there were a lot of people that
he came to help us, to liberate us from our smaller way of thinking, our primitive way of thinking.
Right. And was certainly in the parables of our history that back then, we're never going to get a straight story, because it's all written by people of their consciousness at that time period. But he essentially ran into a lot of problems with people. He had people that embraced him, like there are star seeds that embrace each other. People that watch this show can embrace what you're saying, what I'm saying, can have a community on this show to understand that. There are other people that would look at the people that are hearing what you're saying or what I'm saying and say, well, in a sense, if they were operating Christ consciousness, then they oppose Christ consciousness. Then they say, if anyone opposes Christ consciousness, I'll be bold enough to say this. then they're opposed to the Christed beings of light who come from other worlds here that have been here for billions of years, not only on Earth, but other planetary systems where they come from, that are trying to get us to know that, like you mentioned, the greater good. When someone says Jesus wanted us to be greater, he was trying to teach us to learn from him how to be unconditional love, but that we all have the same abilities, that we're not using them because we're so ingrained in limitation of consciousness that we can't even understand our own abilities that were given to us.
Right.
And we don't.
Right. Well, see, and here's the parallels. Like Mind Speak says he is light, and then Greta said he's a star seed. Jesus is a star seed. We're star seeds, and we're light. What the story the story that he was trying to tell us without saying directly was he was trying to show us the mirror. That look in the mirror. See, you're looking at me and saying I'm the light of God when I'm your mirror. And then they're like, what does that mean? I don't understand. What do you mean I'm the mirror? They couldn't accept that he was just saying that you are light. You are the light of God. I mean, it's the Bible is meant to try to get you to think a little harder, like Lucifer being the light bringer, Jesus being the light bringer. Also, both of them called the morning star. They're both called the morning star. So, but the thing is that when people start hearing this terminology, they're like, well, what is the morning star? And then they're like, well, it's what they wanted to say, Venus, and I'm like, no. We see it every day. It's the sun. That's the first star that right. No, that's called the sun. No. The sun is a star. That's the morning star. So when we try to break it down, basically what it comes down to is we have to just accept that we have all of those gifts, and we are that being. We all. It's the being that's inside. It's not me. Eddie's just Eddie. Eddie's the character, the ego, the story, the storyteller. But it's the being that's inside, Yeah. And I love it. I mean, this is the show about. It's not just about encounters, but the encounters we're talking about is we're trying to prepare everyone for, like, we're preparing ourselves for contact with our higher other planetary relatives, so we can be with them again, because they want to come here and be with us. But we have to prepare ourselves. We have to prepare our light, and we have to be light. And as soon as we are light, then they come, because they know that we're not gonna harm them. We're not gonna harm anyone else or ourselves.
Right, and that's so well said. It's that we have to, like Eddie's saying from Star Knowledge, we have to prepare ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing. I think there's still a lot of preparation. And I know many individuals beyond here, people I know in the circle of this whole area, that are trying to do the best to prepare themselves for what is going to be probably the most important event of our Earth history, for our current history, and other Earth civilizations billions of years before us had their cosmic events happen. So these cosmic events have cycled in billions of years of Earth history. We're not the first group to have one of these events happen. I think that for us, it is very special because we've never had this happen at all. And because we've never have it happen at all, when we look at the civilizations like Lemuria, the land of Mu, Atlantis, and any other advanced civilization that was before us, that was advanced, they came to that advancement through having a revelation of experiences with the galactic levels. Their levels of energy were transformed. Their consciousness was transformed. Their beingness was transformed. Us as human beings here, we also, brothers and sisters, are going through that changeover. And it's not a changeover that happens overnight. The fact is, it could be very humanly frustrating to have to go through this. And I would say that you have to be honest with yourself. Commander, I am frustrated. for the last 20 years, I've always met people at gatherings, conferences, UFO conferences that are frustrated. They're frustrated. They're interested in the topic. Some people are just interested in the topic of UFOs, and that's all they're interested in. They don't care about the expansion of consciousness, the depth of who they are. They just want to have pictures of UFOs, have people talk about UFOs, and then they go home and say, "Oh, this is a great conference. I spent $200 going to it. I heard 15 speakers talk about various aspects of ufology." And that's all they care. And if that's all they care about, they spent their $200. They got their T-shirt at the conference. They got their cap, and then they went home and said, "See, I'm going to wear this now so people know I went to the conference."
Right.
And that's a segment
of exploration.
Right, and that's the segment of the UFO community around the planet. There are those that go to these conferences. They're addicted to them. They want to hear some great speakers, and they got to get some out-of-print books if there's somebody selling books on UFOs there. I know this for a fact because I've been to those conferences. And then I had one guy. This guy was crazy. I was doing the Intergalactic TV network, folks. This was probably in the early 90s. I went to the town next to me, and this person, John White, he wrote books on the pole shift, and he was very engulfed in having these big UFO conferences. People like Colin Andrews and other people, Eric von Daniken, who I met at one point back in the early 90s, and he was a very sweet person. He wrote Chariots of the Gods, and he was great. He's down to earth. We had a good conversation with him. I met from France, Jacques Vallée, the person who was with the government in France regarding ufology. And I sat down with him and this other American person, and I was there, and I said to him, you know a lot more than you're telling. I said, let's we're sitting quietly at a hotel in the restaurant lounge, and I said to him, this other guy said, so tell me what you really know, and tell me what you really know. So I've met these people like Jacques Vallée, and I said, no, it wasn't Jacques Vallée. It was a different person. It's a French person, and he was involved. He was also in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the Hollywood movie. At the end, you saw him and Dr. J. Allen Hynek make a brief appearance at the end when the spaceship lands. If people remember the movie, his name is not Jacques Vallée. He has a different name. But I'll have to remember it. Let me see here. Give me a second here. Now it's going to drive me nuts to tell you this, but okay. Let's see. Who was the French scientist that appeared in Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Let me see here. Let's see if it says anything. Well, now my AI is copying everything I say. I don't want you to do that. Who was the scientist in Close Encounters? It's not doing it. Anyway, folks, give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Who was the scientist? Come on now. Well, anyway, there is a scientist. His name escapes me at the moment from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Anyway, the fact of what I'm trying to say is that these people knew a lot more than they were leading on to at these conferences. And the fact is, there's two types of people that go, maybe more than two types. They go to these UFO conferences, and they're there. Is it Jacques Vallée? Am I correct about that? Maybe it is, because that's what I remember, the name Jacques Vallée. It is Jacques Vallée. They go to these conferences expecting to get some real information. And now these days, you've got hundreds of conferences all over the world. Some of them are really into the spiritual aspects. Some are having scientific people, mathematical people that come to these conferences to speak. But the fact of the matter is that in the end of the day, when you go out of these conferences, what do you gain from it?
You're saying, Francois Truffaut and Claude Lacombe.
Yeah, and that's not the person. I think it's Jacques Vallée. I think I was right the first time. But all I'm trying to say is, or what I'm trying to get at is that if we are going to get into these conferences, we need to give people information, not just on the technical aspects of ufology. We need to have people that speak on the spiritual aspects of this whole thing. And I see it happening more depending on the conference. They do have some people like that, but I think we have to have more UFO conferences where you merge the scientific with the spiritual aspects and the cosmic aspects. If you don't do that, you can keep talking about nuts and bolts all day long, but that doesn't help understand why we're having contact with spaceships that are coming to Earth, why there are orbs coming over our oceans, why there are flying saucer machines going into volcanoes in Mexico and coming out of volcanoes in Mexico.
Yeah.
So that to me is where my consciousness is. There's something going on here. We're not focusing on that explanation. We're focusing on the cover up of the Department of Defense, Area 51, or whatever you want to call it. So that that is important in itself to know that we've been lied to. But on the spiritual aspect, we need to liberate the whole planet to understand something much greater is happening, which is that we are getting ready. And I can't hold back every time I'm on my show. I keep feeling it, and it's in my bones. We are getting ready. Whenever that readiness is, we don't control the readiness. We are getting ready for mass consciousness shift, and that's going to be the main thing.
Everybody here, whether you know it or not, the people here, every single one of you that are watching this show is an important aspect of your consciousness has an important part in the play of what is happening in the planet. Depending on how you want to experience it is okay. You could be a spectator, and just sit here and watch the show and enjoy the show. But the more you really want to be a part of the engagement when it comes to this, the encounters that we will be having with beings, because I've had one face to face, and I felt like I won the lottery. But now I understand it wasn't a lottery thing. It was something that I did. I cleared myself. I cleared all my junk out.
Yeah.
And once I was sitting there, and I'm sitting there like this, and it was messy and it was very difficult. But I was sitting like this, like I felt like I had been ripped apart and like Humpty Dumpty put back together again, and I was just sitting there, and then this being showed up. So it's not a great feeling when you have these experiences, because it feels like a little like death, and it kind of is. But it's a restructuring of our DNA, of our cellular system, of our conscious awareness, and so the human part of us has to expand, and it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So, but the thing is I'm still here. I've made it through several of these experiences, and I'm not even talking, dude. I'm at my brother's, my friend's, his celebration of life before I went to California, and a lady named was it Marianne, or yeah, she's telling me a story of Chief when he had his last awakening. It was 1986. When he became Chief Golden Light Eagle, and she's telling me the story, and she's sitting there, and Deb's sitting next to me, and I'm looking at Deb, and I'm like, I know why you're telling me this story. I said, I'm not ready. I'm never ready for this experience. And not just that, but we're sitting at a brother's house. And for anybody that doesn't know, which is I'm sure it's 99% of you, there's a book called it's called COL. It's the Children of what is it called? Anyway, it's is it CLO? I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm drawing a blank, but I have the book in the other room. And I got his book, and there's an exercise in it called the star exercise. And if you look on YouTube, there's only one video on YouTube for the star exercise, the right star exercise that somebody's doing. And he was doing the star exercise, and he was 60, like 64,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing the star exercise at home. But what he wasn't doing was he wasn't putting all the little elements in his body to make to be able to sustain that star. Oh, children, yeah, children of the law of one, CLO,
Okay.
children of the law of
Children of the
one.
Lord of one. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of CLOs. There's one the raw books, but there's only one by this one guy, um, um, and he passed away. But JPPJ John Peniel is his
Mm-hmm.
name. The guy that author of the book,
Mm-hmm.
Children of the Law of One. Yes, by John Peniel. So he's doing the star exercise, but he's smoking heavy cigars and he's not eating healthy and he's not putting the elements in his body. So when his star light, his soul is going expanding like that, his body couldn't keep up and he passed. This
Oh,
happens.
wow.
Some people don't. Ram Dass didn't pass away, but when he was done with his transformation, he looked very old, and then his body snapped back, and then he looked better. But a lot of people that I've had this experience, some people pass because our star energy is too much for this physical body. So like it'll just act up and act weird, or
Yeah.
just or we just leave. And so it's not that he failed. He didn't fail because he made it. He got into it. He activated
Yeah.
his star body, and then he dropped this body and took off.
And took off. Yeah. You
He
know.
didn't give any of us a chance. I was like, hey, we had
I'm
plans
going.
here.
Yeah. And that's the beauty, right? That when you're liberated, you can leave this spacesuit and go into the next spacesuit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Did you hear
There's no
about
limit.
that test that they had in Russia about
No.
how they were putting a program into someone's brain before they passed away? You
Mhm.
heard about that?
No.
Okay, so they put a program like almost like a transmission signal that they could track,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they would play it in this person's head. I don't know if it was in their ear or like an earbud or whatever, but they were programming these people or this person. And so when the person passed on, they tracked the signal to a planet that was over 10 million light years away, but they tracked it to another star system.
So the person
like that.
left their body and went to another star system after they left, correct?
Yes, as Kevin says, yes, it tracks consciousness. But it was they put it into your mind, into your ear, the signal, and then it becomes a part of your memory, right? So it becomes
Interesting.
part of your memory, and then when you pass on, it was trackable.
Wow. So essentially, the person who was in the physical body left the body and became fully activated as to where they came from, and they were able to travel right to that planet where they came from. And they probably, when they got to that planet, I would hypothetically suspect that they had a body that was physical, and they went back to that physical form who they were before
Or
coming to Earth, maybe.
they went to become something else in another star system. I mean,
Or yeah.
when we're free, we're free. Maybe they had plans. They were like, as soon as they dropped, they're like, I know exactly where I'm going because I wanted to be that before I came
Right.
here.
That's amazing. That's an amazing thing that they did in Russia. I never heard about that, but that is truly amazing.
Yeah, Kevin says, I think Kevin heard about it. So maybe somebody could send the video. Maybe Kevin, if you could send the video to Commander so he could see it.
Yeah. Was it on like a YouTube video or was it on
It's a YouTube video.
YouTube?
Yeah.
We'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah, I mean, I just wanted to catch up with you because like this week has been, over this past week and a half has just been a big wow.
Yeah.
Just I went with no expectations to go visit my family, but it was the frequency that I carried with me that really made the difference in our interaction. You know,
Oh
and to
wow.
be able to see them because they're hostile towards each other and slightly hostile towards me at the beginning, and at the end of it, we're all closer, and we had some really beautiful talks, and my mom, I can tell my mom is, she's only got so many heartbeats left. She's getting really
Hmm.
tired. So I was like,
Hmm.
I got to go see her. And right before I left, I was telling Robin, I said, I feel this heavy energy that a lot of people are feeling. Uh, and people are feeling like tired or sluggish. And I said, I'm feeling that this is another opportunity for a lot of souls to be able to leave it with this energy.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I'm on my way home, my father passes. So I was
Oh
like, oh,
wow.
good, good. He heard the train whistle and took the ride. So good for him.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, I appreciate you, man, Eddie, coming on here and telling us your journey, what happened tonight, and definitely, we'll keep in touch with each other. And Eddie and I are going to do some stuff. Things happen naturally in time, and we've
Yeah.
been talking about for a while, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I still have your address. I just got back today, so I'm gonna run over to Nikki's. I think she's on a vision quest. So when she goes back home, I'm gonna run over to her house and either grab you a sweater or grab you a. So it's a hoodie. So we
It's
have
a
a
hoodie.
Star Knowledge
Okay.
hoodies and t-shirts. So
Okay,
I'll
t-shirt.
grab you
That sounds
one.
cool. I'll wear
I
that.
have your address, so I'll send it to you.
I'm going to be making an Astro Command shirt. I'll design it. I had one, but it's worn out. So I'm making just one singular one that I can wear on the show here. So, yeah, not bad. Hey, Eddie, thank you, brother. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. And, one of the things that we're talking, and this takes time because he's so busy, everything naturally cosmically happens. There will be a point, and these Star Knowledge conferences, when's the next big one coming up that you're all doing?
10-10.
10-10.
So yeah, 10-10, and then I think let's see, the summer solstice. I don't think there's anything. But the fall equinox, and then we're gonna do the okay. So the fall equinox is in Ohio. That's the Serpent Mound event.
Yeah.
The Serpent Mound Star Knowledge Conference, and then here in South Dakota, we're gonna do 10-10. So if
Mhm.
anybody's interested, go to Facebook, look for Star Knowledge 1111, or or Nikki Zephyr. Or those are the two easiest ways to
Yeah.
find out. Yeah, they do it over by the Snake Mound. Yeah,
Interesting.
yes.
Yeah,
Harry
so when
Rivera and or Thomas
and Ed and I
Johnson.
have been talking on the show publicly about it, but we're gonna get there, folks.
Oh yeah. Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna get there. When I speak at the conference, that'll be the first major conference I've spoken out at for many years. The only big conference I spoke out to was Long Island UFO Network, which had a huge following in Long Island, New York, and the person who was in charge was put in prison and he was put in prison. This person was part of a group that I went out with my wife, and we went out to an area where a spaceship crashed near South Haven Park in Long Island, near Brookhaven Laboratories. And there's a whole story behind that I have here. And we saw radiation suits on the ground. We saw burn marks on the tree like the ship had crashed straight on an angle. And we saw that wires that were on poles were rewired with new wiring. And we saw radiation canisters. I think it was, yeah, there were these radiation suits. We found evidence. And it's a whole story, folks. I mean, let me tell you the things I know that I've experienced that when I look back at it, I can probably write a book about what I've experienced. And I haven't told anybody half of what I know here. But let me tell you something. When we do get it together, I speak at the Star Knowledge Conference, I'm going to be talking about something that these other UFO conferences aren't talking about. I'm going to be talking about contact. I'm going to be talking about space consciousness. I'm going to talk about that I am from the stars, that I am a space being in human form, and I will be basically out of the closet about that when I speak. But everything I speak, and Eddie knows me enough now over the years that everything I speak here, folks, is the truth. I don't make up anything. Everything I share with you is based on the word knowledge. My knowledge comes from my experience, and experience is the best knowledge you can have. So, yeah, that's it. Hey, Eddie, thank you, man, for being here.
You're
We
welcome, brother.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, have a good evening. We're going to let him down to watch the show, and you're watching Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. I appreciate everybody that's here. It's funny, we're under 200 people tonight. We were almost near 300 last night. Every night's different. Every night is different. Please share and like. Please FYP. Share any good people you wish to. I also owe somebody. Let's see here. Avion. I got to bring Avion back up. I wasn't finished from my program last night with Avion. I have to do one other thing that I didn't do last night with Avion when we were doing some energy work. And we took out the implants. And Roxy, we'll bring Roxy up too. I know Roxy has some stuff to share. Avion, you with me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Yes.
I had to bring you down when the kid was on last night because I would have been in trouble with TikTok. But can I bring you up on the camera?
Yes.
Okay, let me do that. Because I do have to finish one other part of what I did last night. And it wasn't completed because, and I used to have a little kid, so I know what that's like. Let me see here. So if you press the save button, we'll bring you on camera.
Okay.
There you are. All right. Whoops. I just had you there. You can do it again. I was pressing the button at the same time there. I'll let you turn the camera on. No problem.
Okay. What to do now?
Now I'm just waiting for the camera to. Okay, I have to wait 27 seconds. Yeah, press save. Yeah.
Okay.
It should switch over in a minute to.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. I think it's like less than 20 seconds. I'm going to just take a look and see what the camera thing is now. It's 8 more seconds, and I'm going to press my button, and then I can bring you on camera. So you're watching Encounters, and let me do this in. Okay, do it now. I sent it. Just press save.
Okay.
Somewhere on there's a save thing. There you go.
Hello.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hello, nice and quiet tonight too. The kid's sleeping, hopefully. So I promised her. Last night we took out the implants, but we didn't have time to. With little kids, it's hard. They're cranky and they want to go to sleep or whatever. So it's nice and quiet tonight. How do you feel, by the way?
I feel pretty good today. I felt about 30 minutes ago, but I tripped. But I feel good. Much better.
Yeah. So last night when we were doing this with the kid crying, I was really laser focused on you. You would just give me hand signals that that I took out the implant on one side of your body, and on the other side I took the implant out on the other side. So after last night, I didn't complete my gift to you. So I'd like to do that now because I owe that to you. Okay?
Thank you.
So I want you to do is close your eyes. Okay, great. I want you to close your eyes. We took the implant out last night. What we're going to do now is put a protection around you. I'm going to do some energy work again. I got to put my hands up here above your head. And in a moment, you'll start feeling a light energy as I'm starting to feel the aura around you. And when you feel it, just let me know. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I got to make sure the kid doesn't come on the screen, or else I'll be in trouble here.
He won't.
Okay, I'm feeling the energy around you. Do you feel the energy coming through? You should in a minute. I'm amping it up. So I'm going to do here, since we took the implant out of her last night, which is recorded on my show, we're going to bless you with a gift of light. I want you to say these words first, which is I am.
I am.
A cosmic.
A cosmic.
Christed,
Christed.
being of light.
Being the light.
I am now free.
I am now free.
I am unconditional love.
I am unconditional love.
Okay, now I'm going to put a shield around your body, which I didn't get to do last night. So I'm doing, folks, is I'm putting an invisible light shield around her body, and she will be protected. I'm putting a shield around her property after that. Give me a moment. In a minute, you'll feel like a light suit coming over your body. It's invisible. When you feel that, please let me know. Give me a second. I'm putting it over your shoulders now. And as you feel it, please let me know. Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Good. I just put a shield around her body. I want people to know what I'm doing here who are watching the show, wondering what is it that the commander is doing. I'm operating right now in space consciousness. I am an Ashtar commander. I always have been. I am operating in a space consciousness. I just put a shield, a bodysuit of light over her. She will not be affected by anything negative. I'm now going to shoot beams of light into your house in every room, whether you have an attic or whether you have a basement. I'm working on that first. I'm clearing all residual energies in your room. Give me a moment. I'm now going to take the beams of light above or outside of your home. On your property, I'm putting a bubble, a shield over your home. Give me a moment. Okay, I've actually done both. So now she has a shield over her property. What does that mean to somebody watching the show here? What I've done is it is an invisible shield. No negative ETs can come around her or near her. When she goes out, she is protected. And also her little child is protected as well. So the energy that I did with the house includes the child being protected. And also the energy around her house is now a shield of light. Okay, and I'm going to do one more thing here. Mission completed. You can open your eyes now, Evian.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And can I see a smile? We didn't have a
Thank
chance
you.
to see that last night. So thank you. I couldn't do this without you, sister. You're a beautiful soul. You really are.
Commander, thank you. Thank you for having
So
me
now I
on,
feel like,
and thank you for,
oh,
yes, I feel good.
yeah. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I
And
knew something was,
yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah.
I
I can
knew
hear you.
I
You're
had
breaking up a
something
little
in
bit.
me. I always felt, I knew I had something in me. I always felt it, but I didn't tell nobody because I didn't want nobody thinking I was, you know, losing it.
Yeah, well, no, you're not losing anything.
Yeah.
If anything, what we gift you is the gift of light. You can never be, you're a radiant soul, you're a radiant being of light, and you're now totally free.
Thank you.
You cannot be touched. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Very welcome. All right, I'm going to bring it down. Thank you so much for coming back up.
Thank you for having me.
You're a
Okay.
blessing, so thank you so much. And I want to thank her. So now I feel I completed the mission work with her. I got the implant, destroyed it last night, But with the kid coming on the camera, I had to cut off the live with her. Tonight, I was able to complete the process of putting protection around her house, a light shield around her body, and I feel now that it's okay. It's completed. So yeah, for me, it's very important when I do a process of taking out an implant. If I don't get to complete the process, I need to complete the process. Thank you so much for the friendship gift. We appreciate that. You know, you're watching Encounters, and this is a show where we go beyond nuts and bolts. You know, I have helped people unblock consciousness, take out implants, and amplify light energy within them and also in their homes, wherever that home might be. Child of Light, welcome. And let me see here. Let me see. Let me go backwards here. Roxy, we're going to bring Roxy up. It's been a while. And see if Roxy can come up with us. Roxy's been on the show before, a great guest on the program. And let's see. Hey, Roxy, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I always figure you have something to share. I know that I've been thinking about you, and I'm thinking there's going to be another time there's something else transforming and transpiring on the level of cosmicness with you. So you want to share some
Yeah,
what's going on?
well, I mean, there has been a a lot of activity out where I'm at, out in Oregon, where I reside, and I've been to and from my star family's planet, and I think last time we talked, they were supposed to be in contact with you or April or both. Did that
Mm-hmm.
ever happen?
I don't remember that happening, but all kinds of weird things happen here anyway on my end of it. So if it did happen, it could have happened, and I don't know, in my sleep state or some state. I never really know because things I do see, I do feel things here energy wise, and they could be invisible and present here, but I never know.
They so my family did tell me just recently that they they didn't tell me everything, but they did tell me that there's some big cosmic event that's supposed to be happening here soon, that I need
Mm-hmm.
to be aware of since I'm here on Earth and not up there. I have been to and from the planet very frequently, and there has been I mean, they've left me alone, but there's been a lot of reptilian crafts out where I'm at. They haven't been able to get close to me after what you did. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah, they'll never get close to
that's
you.
good. But they're still floating around, and I see them, and I know they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And my family all said that they are in some brink of war, starting some kind of a war with the reptilians for things they have done to other people, current and in the past. And
Mm-hmm.
there's just been a lot of there's been a lot of phenomenal activity out here. A lot of my family's crafts have been all over the sky in the past month out here,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason, they haven't told me quite yet, but they've been scanning a lot of this area of Oregon, scanning the land, and um, says that they're analyzing things for testing, but they didn't really tell me what. Obviously, it's probably beyond what I'm capable of knowing right now. Um,
Our understanding, yeah,
but
yeah.
but basically, just I've been in a lot of contact with my star family and been on their planet, and kind of, you know, I'm getting more familiar with their ships because they, like I said, they're here soon. They're supposed to be giving me some sort of commanding role. Um, Not
Well, they'll
sure what that
probably
is
give you an
quite yet.
activation of some sort. A commanding role,
Yes,
probably it's an
exactly.
activation. Like you're going to probably be activated in Oregon to do something that is going to help other people. So you're going to be stepping up to. I think you already know this. They're preparing you to step up to the plate. They'll activate you. Like for example, my father on the spaceship touched my forehead, and I've been activated with the ability to do things. I am still learning things, and so I'm sometimes testing my abilities out to help people. The one I know is removing the implants and putting protection shields around their
Mm-hmm.
homes and in their houses and around their bodies. That is the main thing I do, people, is to do that. But I've unblocked consciousness now. I can do that. If people are being blocked from connecting with their star family through consciousness, I can actually unblock that. I didn't know I can do that, and so I'm still slowly trying to feel my way through this because I'm new with this whole thing. To me, it's new, and it's going to be new to you, Roxy, when you have your star family give you whatever it is that's going to be activated. It'll be like they're turning a switch on in you and say, one minute you're this person, the next minute you're going to be a different person. In a good way, they're going to turn on your space consciousness to do something. I don't know what it is either, but obviously
They
they'll.
also go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. There was a little bit of lagging on
Oh, I said
the
so. What
TikTok
they
tonight.
did tell me too. What they did tell me too is that uh, they were very vague when they said it, but they said, "Well, when it's time," and they told me that there is a place, and they told me the place. There's a place that where you're going to go when it's time for us to take you away. There's going to be a time, and there's going to be a place, and you will know that time and place because we will know. And once that happens, wherever we tell you to go, you're going to you're going to go through this portal, and you're going to disappear into it, and then you're going to be with us.
Yeah, see, I think that's what they're. So your connection with them when they say you're going to be with us, they're gonna that's like almost like a coded word where they're saying when you say to be with us is I think you're going to be physically on the spaceship with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I
They'll
think
take you
that
out.
when that happens, um, I'm probably going to leave Earth as we know it, either for a certain amount of time or forever, or I'm kind of unsure about that. But they say that there's so many events unfolding down here on Earth that it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day,
Yeah,
could be in the middle of
and
the
you know,
night.
and you know this, Roxy, that they work in space consciousness. So with space consciousness, like humans, we work in time, right? Like that you have to go to breakfast or work or whatever. Okay, I got to go to my favorite breakfast place. It's 9 o'clock before I do my work or go out to work or whatever I do. Um, they don't they don't care about that. They're looking at you and saying you're coming with us soon. What does soon mean? I mean, they're in space. They don't think about. They don't wear watches and say we have to be somewhere. We don't have to. We have to be at Earth at Roxy's location at 9 a.m. in the morning. You know,
Mhm.
but they are getting you prepared. Obviously, they're communicating with you telepathically and saying you're going to be with us soon.
Yeah, well, what was it? Yesterday, this never happened before. I was in my car listening to my music, and my music just abruptly stopped. And it wasn't because of the radio station, because I was listening to streaming my music on my phone through my stereo, and I heard static and sound waves,
Hmm.
and I heard, "We are watching you. You are protected." And
Really?
then my music went back on. Yeah,
See that's
and
amazing, man.
it came in a very monotone, robotic sound.
Yeah, yeah. They have the ability. It's called a monochrome system. Ashtar Athena, my friend in California, told me about years ago when the broadcast came over. It was actually a real space person. The It's been on the YouTube for years, but the actual ITN broadcast, 1977, was the Ashtar Command. Galactic Command spoke to a specific location, and as they were ending their broadcast, there was a monochrome sound that happened. They came over a TV station. So the story
Mhm.
that you just said now is amazing because they came over your radio in your vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a static sound, and then you heard a voice speaking, basically saying, "We'll be with you soon." They were transmitting a transmission to you through your was that on the FM radio? Or what was that?
Well, it's funny. I was I was streaming Pandora through my radio from my
Oh, through the
stereo in my
radio. Okay.
car, and so somehow they were able to stop my transmission from streaming and come through and say whatever they say.
Oh wow! So they came through the Pandora system through your speaker. Yeah, they can do
Yeah.
that. They don't have. They can go through anything, and frequency levels. So you're probably going to have something happen. I don't have the answer to that, but I think it's going to be very, very tuned in on yourself, on your consciousness. I even think if you have that telepathic connection, that they'll probably communicate with you when you're probably sleeping. It could be when you're walking, out to get something to eat. Then all of a sudden you'll start hearing voices coming from them, and I that's my theory is that's how they're going to do it first to get you comfortable with the
Well, it's
idea.
funny that you said. It's funny that you said. It's funny you said voices. I was actually the other day walking through town. I had parked my car and I was going towards the mall, and I was walking. Wasn't really around anybody. I mean, there's people walking around, but I wasn't close to anybody. And a very faint whisper said, "We're here. We're here. You'll be okay." And then it went away, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Maybe I didn't think with that. I didn't really think about it at the time, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it probably was my star filming," because I was like, "Wait, you don't just hear voices like that." So I kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
But then back with the stereo thing too, for the past month too, I mean, my stereo in my car just randomly will start switching stations. Won't touch nothing,
Wait a
not touch
minute.
the scan button, not circle, not go through the channels. Just start, go to one
Yeah.
channel and stop, and go to
Wow.
another channel and stop.
That's amazing. So I think in many ways they're telling you that they are there. They're with you pretty regularly. And when the last thing you said, which I listen to every word a person says, when they said we're with you, like we're right there with you, they could have been invisibly with you
Mhm.
in whatever space you're in. They could have been sitting right next to you, and just been cloaked. And then you felt the
Mhm.
energy leave. So maybe they were physically there, and then they left back onto their spaceship.
Right.
Do you feel that to be true?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm getting when I. It's a funny thing. Well, when I interview people, I listen so intently to the story and the energy of the story, and that's how I get information. Then I want to ask you, is it something that you would validate to be true? And you just said yes. So I just feel really strongly that's what they're doing. So they can come in in cloaked into your environment, and as they come in cloaked into your environment, they could be sitting right next to you.
Oh
You're
yeah.
sitting on. Go ahead.
Ooh, what happened? Oh, sorry, the screen kind of stopped. But so what was it? A couple days ago, my door was locked in my car, and I had my little button that we pressed to unlock our car, and I didn't. I had holding my lanyard. I wasn't even touching the buttons,
Yeah.
and it's not one of those you get close and it unlocks your door, because that's what the new cars do. I mean, I have a newer car, but not like that. And I was walking up to the car, and it did the little beep beep beep, and it unlocked. I didn't touch any of it,
You didn't touch a thing.
and then the other weird thing is, I kid you not, all I did when I get in the car, put the key on, turn it on, pass auxiliary, didn't get to turn the vehicle on yet, and the car turned on.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. So the car turned on by itself. Am I correct? The car turned on by
Yes.
itself. So people, you hear what's being said. Roxy
Yes.
is saying the car turned on by itself. He wasn't turning the car on. So what do you think that's about? Do you think it's the energy from the space people?
I would like to say that 100% that would be true to be what has happened.
Hmm.
It just hasn't happened that way before. And I can't explain it because I don't
Yeah.
know why that they would do that. Because like obviously I know how to turn on my own car.
Right. You don't. They don't need to. They don't have to be. They don't have to be so. We'll take care of your car too. We'll protect you and we'll turn your car on for you because you have nothing else to do in space but help turn the car on. Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
explanation for that either. I don't know. I mean, I would say you should ask them. When these things happen, telepathically, did you turn my car on that day or whatever, and see what the response is. I'd be
Mhm.
kind of curious to know. I mean,
Oh, and then
who
the other
knows?
thing. Here's the other thing, and another thing, kid you not. So you know how these newer cars have all these sensors for on your mirror. So if you go to switch lanes, if there's somebody there, it'll start blinking or start making noise. My car don't do that.
Hmm.
Well, the other day, I went to go try to switch lanes, and I didn't really look. I mean, I looked, but I guess I didn't look very far. And I was gonna switch into the next lane, and all of a sudden, my car the sound was inside my car. It was weird. I heard beep 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 beep, and a light that does not exist in that mirror started flashing.
Really?
Yeah.
So a light.
And then I was like,
Everybody,
oh
listen to what
shit! And I
Roxy
looked
just
and
said.
or sorry my language, and I was like, oh my gosh, my I don't have a light in my mirror like that. I don't have sensors like that.
Yeah. So the light
So
in
to
the
me,
mirror. I mean, the mirror. As you're saying this, there's no light in the mirror. There, a light happened to appear in the mirror. Correct?
yeah. So like how the other cars would have the mirror, it looked just like that. It appeared and
Yeah.
started flashing, and then I heard a beep inside the cab of my vehicle. Beep 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 beep.
Wow.
And I looked and I
Yeah.
looked in the side and then on the window, and oh my god, there's a car. Then I veered back. So
Right. So
so
there's a
yeah,
little
so
bit
my
of
car doesn't
TikTok
have new cars.
lagging.
My car is a 2009, so I don't have that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
So as you were saying, he had a 2009 car. The newer cars have that. His car's 2009. So let's put it in perspective. The beep 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 thing happens. There's a light in the mirror on the car that doesn't even exist, and it appears as the beep beep beeping is going on. Correct?
yes.
That's really strange. And
So
as people watch
obviously,
it,
I would like to believe that they were watching me at that particular moment, and they wanted to prevent a catastrophe with me, so they were able to channel whatever they were needed to do to say,
yeah,
you probably shouldn't do that right now.
yeah, I think that well, it makes sense because it looks like you're almost in the midst of having a major accident when the beep 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 started. It alerted you, and also the beeping and the light blinking that doesn't exist happened. I think the space people created that scenario to protect you from having any accident.
Oh, I believe that to be 100% true.
Hmm.
So so anyway, so that's the 411 on me so far right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we call it the star 111.
Yes.
Space people 111. And people, these stories that you hear on encounters, and my friend Roxy, who I've known for quite some time, and from the beginning of his story, of his galactic story, his story is quite amazing and it's growing. And this is new revelations coming in his story that are amazing where he is, and this is what I'm talking about. There are people here on Earth, like Roxy and others, that are having various levels of galactic contact with their space families. And I think, I mean, if you listen to Roxy's story, you're going to see that, and you say to yourself, well, I wish I had some experiences like that. And I know a lot of people want to have experiences. You'll get there. Nobody's going to have the same experience or have the same timeline
Mhm.
to have an experience. If that was I think mass consciousness, which is billions of humans, billions of people on this planet aren't even there yet. So you have to deal with a planet. We talk about everyone here being kind of ready for having an experience. So when you hear people like Roxy, who's having really amazing experiences, or other people I've interviewed that are continually having. I know people that are being taken on spaceships almost every other night. I know a few people that are, and I know Roxy, you've probably seen them, but these things are
Yeah.
happening. You know,
Well, I do have to say to Kelly Sanders, yeah, there is probably '09 that do have sensors, but I do know mine does not.
yeah. So he was just explaining to you about his car without any sensors. So, and that's good that because he's had the experience, he's explaining what kind of vehicle he had when it happened, and by doing that, it gives you an understanding of versus his car versus a 2025 or 24 car that have those kind of sensors. They created, however the space people do it, they created that light for him to see that's not really there for the purpose of protecting him from being in an accident. And so it just goes to show
Hmm.
your star family can come and protect you before anything negative happens to you, like a car accident, or maybe you fall, or you walk in the middle of a traffic in a city, and then you get caught in the traffic. They protect you so you can get on the other side of the street. Um, we don't know how everything space people do that are here to protect us, but we are learning through the stories of what they do. Like with Roxy's stories, I know the next time he's on, he'll have other revelations, and I think he will be expanding more into those accelerated interactions with his star family. Now, for the reptilian thing, I'm not supposed to do this because I promised my space family I wouldn't, because they'll do it in a nanosecond. I want to really do it, and I'm probably going to hear about it from my space family if I do it. But if I were to send an Ashtar ship to the area where the reptilians are, we could get rid of them in 2 seconds. So give me a second. I'm contemplating something here that I might hear back about.
You'll get
Um,
in trouble.
I will get in trouble. My space family's watching the show. I want them to approve what I'm going to do here, because we are out to get the reptilians that are affecting people. I protected you. They can't get near your location ever, but I would like to send them off planet. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when I do this, but this is being recorded. I'm going to do this only once, and I know I'm going to hear something about this. So I'm going to close my eyes for a minute. Let me go into space consciousness here. So what I'm going to do, I'm asking the Ashtar Command, I'm asking my father to let the council know that this is important. And I'm speaking to them right now as they're watching the show on a spaceship, that there are reptilians in his area. They can't get near him because I protected him. I want the reptilians to be taken off planet. And I'm asking one of the Ashtar ships to go to his location, and I'm asking them to essentially get rid of the reptilians and take them off planet. I do this in knowledge of what I'm doing and what I haven't done since last year. I stopped doing it. I'm only going to do this once, and I want the command to go where these ships are and actually force them off planet. Okay, and I'm doing that for my friend here. Give me a second. I see. There's a man and a woman. I haven't done this for a long time. There's a man and a woman, an Ashtar Command man and a woman. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. As your eyes are closed, you will be able to see them. There's going to be a man and a woman from the command that will be cloaked in your room right behind you. I sent a spaceship of the command to get rid of the reptilians right now for you. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I can handle it. I always was known off planet as being kind of a system buster. So I want you to relax. And Want the man and the woman to present their name to you in your consciousness. Just relax. I'm going to stop speaking. I want them to speak and say who they are. When you hear their names, please let me know.
I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know why. I don't know if it's some kind of a block or something, but I do not hear anything.
Mm-hmm. Now keep your eyes closed for a moment. Focus. Let me do this. I haven't done this in a long time, so let me see here.
It's okay.
The man and the woman, if they'll just tap on his right or left shoulder to let him know that you're there. From the Ashgar command, please. Relax. Don't think too much about it.
Okay, I felt that.
Right shoulder, left shoulder?
Left.
Okay. Good. They're there. They're actually, I can't see them. They're cloaked, but they're in the room, two of them. The one ship has been sent over that location. It's cloaked, so the reptilians cannot see the spaceship that I've sent over there, and they will deal with the reptilians.
Okay.
That's all I know. I don't know what this is going to how this is going to work. I just know that I asked them to do this for you, and I probably won't do this again, not to get myself in trouble with my parents on the ship. People are asking, do you have an air conditioning system on?
No.
You don't have any fan on or air conditioning, a washing machine or anything?
No.
Thank you for saying that. So everyone who's hearing a sound, they're hearing like a sound. He doesn't have a air conditioning on or anything. So this sound is coming through our transmission, and it's loud. So if people are asking me what that sound is, I'm going to reserve comments. I'll let you use your creativity to think what that sound is. You're not diesel powered in your house. You don't have any diesel power?
No. Nothing like
Okay.
that.
I'm just trying to take away any possibilities. Okay, so he's in a physical environment. He's definitely he's not in a diesel system or anything. So we're actually, and now there's no dishwashing machine on either.
No.
Okay, good. So people are hearing sounds, which happens when the space thing is happening. So there's a sound coming through our broadcast now on your end of it, and it's very interesting. I didn't pay attention to it, but it is definitely interesting.
I definitely
They
don't
tap
have a
on your
pool.
no pool. So we're deducting all these things people think. There's no AC. Excuse me. There's no AC on. So we want to just get all that out of the way that people think it might be. So all these things. There's no helicopter. It's amazing. There's no spin cycle on a washing machine. There's no air fan or air conditioner on. There's nothing. So there's nothing as much. And I'm glad everyone's asking those questions. So now that we know that none of that stuff is happening, including a refrigerator noise, that it's probably coming from the energy of the spaceship. It's probably coming from the
Yeah, that
spaceship.
would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because remember remember when I was out in Idaho and you heard a sound just like that,
Yeah,
and there were ships above me, and they were actually they were hovering away and leaving.
yeah,
Because I remember you were like, "You hear that sound?" I said, "Yeah, the ships are going." You know.
yeah. Now, if you're listening carefully, I don't know if you can't hear it, that's all right. But I have my earpods on. I'm hearing this strange sound, but I didn't want to say anything as I was. It started happening when I started calling the Ashtar Command to send a spaceship to your location. I started hearing this sound, and let's see, it's still there. Yeah, it's definitely apparently. I'm in my earpods. I pick up the sound really clearly. The sound is definitely there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can. I can't really hear anything except you, but
yeah, yeah. Some people think it sounds like water. It's very loud for everybody who's hearing it, but it's not louder than your voice or my voice. It's there. Um, it could be coming from me, not you.
huh?
Yeah. So it might be coming from me. I have no fans
Yeah, I
on
don't
or
really hear
anything on my
anything.
end.
I don't hear anything on your end besides you, but yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So when that kind of stuff happens, no, it's not a mic or a sewing machine. None of that. So I'm glad people are bringing up what they think it is, but it's none of those things. So once we get all those things deducted out of our conversation, it's not a generator. There's no generator on. Um, yeah. So I'm glad everyone's having input here. What we're hearing or what I'm hearing, I can mute myself for a second. I don't think. Let me see what happens. Give me a second. I'll mute my microphone.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see.
I'll tell you what. You mute your microphone. I'm going to mute my microphone and see if people still hear the sound.
I'm trying to see if I can. Um, I don't know how to do this. How it is.
Yeah, it's coming from Roxy's end, not my end. It's coming from Roxy's end. Yeah, it's coming from your end. So even though you're not hearing it, which is okay, this is a test that we did here just to make sure it wasn't coming from my end. So when you unmuted and I stayed muted, it was coming from your end on your side of the communications.
Yeah, and
So now we
I don't
know.
even. I don't even hear the sound you guys are talking about either.
Yeah, and that's okay. Maybe you're not supposed to hear. Now I got my earpods on here, so I can hear everything that's sound is coming on. So it is definitely coming from your area. So
Interesting.
so I think there's definitely a ship. Well, you always have ships nearby, but I think there's a ship. I don't know if it's the ship I sent or whether it's the sound of a ship coming from one of your ships. But it's
Right.
definitely, or whether it's just intergalactic interference coming through.
Right. That's a good possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, this is
but yeah, that's the star 11 on me, and thanks for having me up again. And
yeah, of course.
uh, be nice to talk to you again soon. Once hopefully some things more. I mean, obviously more things are going to happen, and I'll have more things to tell you. And I'm interested to see other people on the show tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, well, thanks, brother, for coming on here. You're always a terrific guest. You always have something to share. And once, excuse me, once the Astro Command ship gets rid of the reptilians, certainly let me know an update on that, and hopefully I don't get in too much trouble with my space father, which I don't think I will, But thank God I don't send ships all over the place like I did one time. I got in trouble for that. I'm not really in trouble. They just, because they have to do mission work to prepare the planet for contact, it was taking away from that kind of thing. But for this situation, with a couple of reptilian ships, we have to get rid of them. So, all right,
Yeah,
hey brother, I appreciate that, but they're not going to touch you because you're protected. So there you go.
absolutely. All right.
All
Well,
right,
thank you, and we'll talk soon.
all right, Roxy. Thanks, man, for being on here. Let's bring Roxy down. And another, Roxy's always been a great guest on the show. We appreciate him. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO show, and welcome to the show, everybody. If you're new to the show, please, we're at 102,000. We've had 2,500 people since 11 o'clock watch the show. 2,500 folks, pretty amazing. Let's see. Jules says, I've been hearing the name Glinda. Interesting, Jules. Glinda. I'm almost out of apple cider here. So these are the kinds of things that happen on encounters. These are the kinds of things that you can expect is the unexpected. And we know that all these things are happening for a reason. Yeah, it was on Roxy's end. So I'm used to the sounds of a spaceship coming over my earpods. I've seen it in 3 years on my broadcast. There's a certain specific, like a bubble of sound that comes through the broadcast. And it's usually from the other person if they're a contactee of some sort. It can happen that way. Sometimes it happens on my show when I'm talking, not all the time, but it does happen when that whole energy frequency thing goes on. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't hear anything. But we all heard the sound coming through. That's why we did the test. And Laval, you've heard it before, so you know. He wasn't really doing anything. Roxy wasn't doing anything. He was right there. He was very present. But the sound would have nothing to do with him specifically. Again, he just didn't hear it. And sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's beyond human comprehension. In our 3D mind, we'll say, well, he should have heard something. But we don't know how space consciousness works. And when you're dealing with high vibrational spaceships, if the sound comes through and they want to be, and they're in that presence of that person's location, sometimes I will hear the sound over the years when I've had people on. When that happens, with earpods, I hear everything. I can hear everything with my earpods on. That the sounds are really clear. Interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, TikTok poet Court, good to see you. Yeah, he wasn't doing it. Yeah, yeah. I say pets out of control. I think you're correct about that. My parents hear everything I say. My parents are listening to the show right now on the spaceship. They hear everything I say. And it also, yeah, his vibrational levels are high enough, Brenda, too, where that would be more apropos to the potentials of what's happening. Well, it's now 1:03 in the morning. I want to thank everybody for their gifts, their input, their interactions here. It's really important that we have that kind of beautiful energy here. We appreciate that very much. We might do 1 or 2 more interviews here, maybe, but I think we're going to call it a night. We've done a 2-hour show. We'll be on Friday night at 11 for more encounters. This show, I'm still a little bit backlogged, but I'm getting all the shows on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. It's on my bio. Please press the red button to follow and press the like button on my bio as well. All right, everybody, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, Linda, everyone out there. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Keep your eyes to the skies. Have a great morning, and be well.